Here's how to play Fight Decks Arcade Mode. Before we start, we highly recommend that you have played at least one PvP gameplay or watch our PvP gameplay video. Each campaign consists of 5 regular levels followed by 1 boss level. Decide whether you want to play a game solo or with a friend. Now each player will select a fighter and take the player 1 deck. In co-op, both players must select a different fighter and set aside 5 player 2 decks that you can use as a CPU, and these can't be changed in the middle of a campaign. However, if you own less than 4 fighter decks, you can reuse the same CPU deck. Before I show you how to set up, let's talk about the new components in the game. We have our neural cores, the impulse ability, the super token / power charge, the player augments, the level card, the tag-in card, and the bonus truck stage. We'll talk a little more in depth about these later in the video. So now let me show you how to set up. First, take your fighter, put it in the open area in the middle of the table. Next, shuffle your action deck and take 12 cards and put it into your action deck. Take the remaining card, put it to the left as your life deck. Take your signature move, place it below your action deck. Take your wake up pile and put it into the reserve. Now search for your fighter's starting augment and put it to the left of your life deck. Next, add 2 random power charges to your power charge storage. Next, we will set up the CPU area. First, play your CPU next to your player. Then shuffle your deck. Take the top 12 cards and put it into the memory log. Place the remaining cards to the right of your CPU. That will be the life deck. Next, place all the super moves in the reserve and the wake up moves as well. Next, play your level card right below your CPU fighter. This will now be your action sequence. Shuffle your neural cores and place it to the right of your memory log. Shuffle all impulse abilities that don't have a name tag. And then shuffle in the CPU signature's impulse ability and place it to the right of your neural core deck. And for the final step, we will set up the utility area. Shuffle the remaining augment deck and place it above the CPU area. Repeat the same with the power bank. Now set aside your level cards face up. And finally put your bonus truck level slightly to the right. And there you go, that's how you set it up. In case of co-op, repeat the same setup, except for the power charge storage. This will be shared between both players. Before we show you the gameplay, let's go through the components. Let's talk about the player augments. And there's 4 different types of player augments. And you can tell what type of player augment on the top left of the card. You have the power player augment. These require the power charges to activate. Keep in mind, if you have multiple player augment, it only requires 1 power charge to activate all of them. Then you have the equipment player augment. These provide a passive effect and are active all throughout the game. Then you have a consumable, which requires the players to use it to activate its effect, but the card does refresh at the end of each level. Finally, we have training, and these will be shuffled into your life deck, and they're activated once they're revealed from your action deck. And each card will have a type, a cost, an augment effect, and sometimes there'll be a starting augment tag, which indicates which fighter will start with this augment. Next, we have neural cores. There are 4 different types of neural cores, and their only function is to activate impulse abilities. Next, we have impulse abilities. An impulse ability includes an activation core. The activation core shows which neural core is required to activate the impulse ability. If multiple neural cores are shown, any one of them can activate the ability. After the impulse ability is activated, resolve the activation effect. And some impulse abilities will have a name tag on it. These are called signature impulses. Only the signature impulse of the current CPU fighter should be shuffled into the impulse deck. The rest of the signature impulses are not to be used. Power charges and super token are 2 sides of the same card. So power charges are used to activate power augments as well as purchase augments. And super tokens are used by the CPU to play corresponding super moves. And this is your level card. It shows you your level, the refill number, as well as whether this is for single player or for co-op. An action refill initiates the start of a level, and whenever a CPU action sequence has no more action cards, to perform an action refill, simply add cards from the top of your CPU life deck to the action sequence until the number of cards in the action sequence is equal to the refill number. And finally, you have the tag-in card. This is only used in co-op campaigns. It may be played during the neutral round to switch the active and inactive player. Additionally, each side of the tag-in card has a play effect, which is activated when the tag-in card is played. Now let me show you how to do the first level. First, shuffle 3 random super tokens into your CPU life deck, and then initiate the action refill. Draw 5 cards. If you're playing co-op, each player will draw 3 cards, then start the level. Unlike in PvP, all dynamic effects of CPU action cards are disabled. Instead, whenever a CPU action card with 1 or more dynamic effect leaves the action sequence, draw 1 neural card. Dynamic effects on player action function as normal, so refer to your fighter info sheet for specific effects. A neutral round is started at the beginning of a level, when a hit confirm effect does not instruct to start a combo or wake up round. It carries the following steps. Counter step. The player plays a basic move or super move that wins or ties against the CPU's current action. Once you have countered, discard the current action. Repeat the counter step until the CPU's action sequence is empty. Then initiate an action refill and resolve the hit confirm effect of the bottom card of the player meter bar and end the round. Now let's proceed with the counter step. All you have to do is either beat their stance or have a speed that's tied or higher. For our first counter, we're gonna play low sweep. You can tell low sweep speed 2 is gonna be faster than low sweep of speed 1, so we're gonna successfully counter. So take this card, put it into the memory log, and then proceed to countering the next one. As you notice, the current action is a super token. So we will now absorb it and replace it with the corresponding super move. Now we got to counter the super move. And we can see we have a low kick, so we're going to play the low kick. So in the situation, we have a hitbox against their stance. That means we'll successfully counter. Since this is a super move, it will return to the super move pile. Since it's a dynamic effect, we will draw a Neuro Core. Whenever you draw a Neuro Core, just simply flip it over. Once that's flipped over, verify if there's any activation core that would trigger the impossibility. In this situation, there is none. And finally, we're going to play a low sweep. Just like previously, we have a hitbox against their stance, so we're gonna succeed. And a quick note, you only flip one Neuro Core, even though there's 2 dynamic effects. Now that the action sequence is empty, we're gonna do a refill. And once this refill is complete, we will now do the hit confirm effect. So first hit confirm effect is deal 2 damage, and then we'll get into a wake up round. Before we talk about the wake up round, let's talk about what happens if you cannot successfully counter. You may decide to concede. To concede, you just play nothing or play a losing action against the CPU's current action. If you do, discard the CPU's current action and resolve the hit confirm effect. And if there's any dynamic effect, draw 1 Neuro Core. You end the round without initiating an action refill. However, if there is only 1 action card remaining, you will do a critical concede. Additionally, you would also discard the CPU's current action. You take damage equal to the refill number. So in this situation, you would take 3 damage. And if there's any dynamic effect, draw 1 Neuro Core and then initiate an action refill. Then you will start a new neutral round. So in co-op, you actually select one of the 2 characters to be your active player. Only active players can play action card and use augments during the neutral round. Either player may play a tag-in card at any point to switch active player. Spending a power core only activates the power of a single player, not of both. Okay, let's talk about the wake up round. So the player will take their wake up moves and add it to their hand. Then they'll select one of the cards and put it face down. Then take the CPU's wake up move, shuffle them, and put one randomly face down. Then reveal both cards and determine the winning player. If the CPU does not have an advantage, we'll just simply compare the cards against the CPU's face down card. In this situation, our hitbox will beat the standing stance, so we will get to do the combo hit confirm effect. However, if the opponent has an advantage, we will compare the face down card and the memory lock card. And if that's the case, you need to beat both cards. Even though we beat the face down card, we will lose against the memory lock card. If the player loses to either CPU card, resolve the hit confirm effect of the winning CPU card. Resolve the hit confirm effect of the wake up move if the player loses to both. In the case of a tie, the player loses the round as well. For co-op, the previous round active player remains active and only takes part of the wake up round. And at the end of each round, return all wake up moves to the wake up move pile and merge your cards to the meter bar. Now let's resolve a combo round. When it comes to combo rounds, there's 2 types of combo rounds. There's the player combo round and a CPU combo round. During a player combo round, follow the same rules as a PvP combo round. However, during a CPU combo round, you deal 1 damage for each card in the sequence, and you resolve the hit confirm effect of the current action at the end of the round. So for co-op mode, during the player combo round, both players may use augments and play cards into the combo column in any order. After the combo ends, merge the played cards to their respective player meter bar. Also, during the CPU combo round, only active player is the target of the CPU's combo damage and hit confirm effect. Additionally, the active player from the previous round remains the active player. Next, let's talk about using the player augments. At any point in the game, unless specified, the player may use their augment cards. Power cards are used by simply spending a power token. And if you have multiple powers, spending 1 power charge will activate all of them. And to use a consumable, just spend the card itself. And to spend the card, simply turn the card 90 degrees sideways. And spent cards cannot be spent again until refreshed. And keep in mind, consumables are only refreshed at the end of each levels. Equipments are always active and never need to be used. And training cards are shuffled into the player's life deck upon purchase, and are activated once they're drawn from your action deck. In co-op mode, augment cards from one player do not interact with those of other players. Spending 1 power charge activates all power from only 1 player. Only the active player can use their augment cards. Now let's talk about neural cores and impulse abilities. Neural cores are drawn when an action card of one or more dynamic effect leaves the action sequence. When the neural core is drawn, place it on the bottom of the neural link to form a column. Check whether it matches the activation core displayed on the top of the impulse deck. If a match is found, activate the corresponding impulse ability, then requeue both of the neural core and the impulse ability. So in this situation, we flipped an explosive fuse core. We can tell that it is also an activation core here, meaning we'll have the activation of this impulse ability. And it's very important to note that these can be chained. Once these resolve, we will put this back on the bottom. And we will also put this back on the bottom. And now we will double check again whether or not we have an activation core. And we will trigger the effect of the impulse ability. And the chain activation repeats until there is no more match found. When the impulse ability targets the player, they target the active player. And the level is complete when the CPU life deck is empty. As soon as the player's life deck is empty, the campaign is lost. In co-op mode, when a player life deck becomes empty, the CPU mends 5 and draw a neural core. Also, while player deck is empty, they are unable to play any cards or receive heal until the end of the level. The campaign is lost when both players' life deck is empty. Once the level is finished, we will be going to the post-level management. After completing level, resolve the following in order. Each player shuffles their hand, meter bar, burn pile into their action deck. Refresh power charges and consumables. One player may heal 3. Then add 3 super tokens from the power bank to the temporary pile. When a player releases a power charge into the following steps, send them to the temporary pile. From the CPU's action sequence and memory log, search for super tokens, absorb half of them, round it down, and send the rest to the temporary pile. Shuffle up the augment deck and reveal 4 augments in the shop. Each player may purchase augments by releasing required number of augments. Each player may release 1 power charge to heal 3, or reshuffle the augment deck and reveal 4 new augments. The player may carry up to 3 power charges to the next level and must release any excess power charges. Randomly select a new player 2 deck as a next CPU deck. Delete the previous level card and place the next level card on top of the CPU action sequence and set up the CPU area as shown in the game set. Shuffle all super tokens from temporary pile into the CPU life deck, then initiate action refill. Then draw 5 action, 3 if you're playing co-op, and then start the level. If a truck impulse ability was activated in the previous level, resolve the bonus truck stage before the post-level management. The player keeps their hand and meter bar at the start of player combo round against a military truck. Stack the truck cards in column from HP 12, 9, 7, and 5. HP 5 resolve first. The bonus truck stage ends when the player does not deal enough damage or acquires all 4 trucks. Proceed to post-level management after this. Once you beat the 5 levels, you will then proceed to the final boss level. After completing the post-level management, set up the final boss level with the following steps. Delete the entire impulse deck. Shuffle the 4 signature impulse for the final boss shape of the fighter. Randomly remove 1 of them and leave the other 3 as your new impulse deck. Set up the CPU area as shown in the game setup using the same deck as level 5 CPU, then start the level. Campaign is won after defeating the final boss level. And there you go. That's how you play Fight Decks Arcade mode.